Joining me now, two superstars, Sandra Smith, co-anchor of America Reports on Fox News, and Steve Forbes, Forbes Media chairman and editor-in-chief, and the author of Inflation, What It Is, Why It's Bad, and How to Fix It. Sandra, my basic point is, look, I love the 1920s. I enjoyed them immensely as a young man. Joke, sorry. But so did I.
Audience, milk them.
I know. Joke. But the point I'm trying to make here is, the last 20 years plus, we can do much better, and we can go back in history to what works, which I just call economic freedom, without even getting into specifics. So I ask you, what do you think about this? What's missing here? Why have we faltered, Sandra Smith?
You haven't missed anything. In fact, I was taking notes, as I always do, when I hear your opening riff, Larry. Awesome studio audience, by the way. And I'd like to also have the label, I'm also a Smith. I'd also like to be labeled free market rock star.
Oh,
because listen.
You were related to Adam Smith.
100%. Somewhere we go back. I always do my homework before I come join you, Larry, because you and Steve Forbes are always the smartest guys in the room. And I mean, I could hand this to a first grader and they would understand it. I chart out government debt in this country over the past 50 years. Okay, I drew a simple line. I took my ruler, that's the red line. I did that on my own there. Pardon the chip nails. But I mean, it's a no-brainer. 50 years we have been spending out of control in this country. We are at heights that we have never seen in the United States before. I asked my brain room for a simple GDP growth chart for this country, took my arrow to it. And I mean, look what is happening. We are spending massive amounts of money, throwing it at every crisis that comes our way. And it is not fixing the problem. It is making our situation in this country even worse. I mean, you talk about the risk that this puts to all those things. You know what stands out to me? To national defense. Think about that. Think about the peril that we could face as a country when we have this mounting debt, spending all this money. Where are we going to start to chip away at? We, as an American public, should be really, really nervous about that. And then as you were sitting there, I was taking notes, and I was thinking, listen to John Kerry over in Davos.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Don't do it.
The response to every crisis, climate change, believe in it or not, the response is to throw money at these problems. Pete Buttigieg, people can't get their flights anymore, right? They're canceled, they're delayed, there's planes almost hitting each other on the tarmac. Throw money at the problem, okay? And then you've got this immigration crisis that Democrats don't even want to acknowledge. Biden barely visits the border. And it appears that the way they've maneuvered the spin on this is Republicans aren't throwing enough money at the problem. And if they don't agree to the Democrat demands on that, then it's their problem.
How many times did John Kerry say money in that one sentence?
Amen.
9.
Amen.
Money.
I mean, we have to think about that. Think about that.
Throw money at it.
And look, I'm dropping pens as a result of this. But what I wrote down after that was spending will not solve one of our biggest problems right now. That is our national debt. And that is how we have gotten here today. And if we keep this up, we're going to be in a really tough spot. We've got to face the music.
So, Steve Forbes, first of all, thank you for all that. I agree, of course. Steve Forbes, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness. The government is getting too big. The private sector economy is getting too small. I want to reverse that. I want government to be smaller. I want the private economy to be bigger. I want to remove all the barriers and obstacles to growth. And my only point is, look back in history, okay? Put the economic models aside. Look back in history. Look at Reagan, look at JFK, look at what Harding and Coolidge did with Andrew Mellon. It shows smaller government is a winner. Let's remove the spending and taxing and regulating. That, I think, is in some sense the key point. Maybe that's got to be the Republican agenda in the next Congress.
Yes, and it's a means to an end, not an end in and of itself. Calvin Coolidge, by the way, in the 1920s, was the last president who left office with a budget smaller than when he entered office, a federal budget.
I love that.
And the Congress at the time was full of spenders. And he and Mellon vigorously, each week would sit down, Budget Bureau, how to fight spending. And the budget process
line by
today,
line.
Line by line. That's how we got the budget office in the early 20s, was to get control of the spending, which has now gone kablooey again. So it's very simple. Sound dollar, so you can make investments in the future. Low tax rates, so that people don't have to be robbed by the government. Coolidge and others said it's larceny when you take one more penny from working people that is not absolutely necessary for the safety and functioning of government. So we know what it is. It's been true for thousands of years. you have freedom, respect for the individual. That's also key. The dignity of doing things, as Lincoln put it, improve your lot in life. And by golly, the 1920s, which has gotten a bum rap just because they call it the jazz age, and we think of Fitzgerald and all that kind of stuff. But the 1920s was one of the most productive decades in human history. It set a path, and it wasn't inevitable, but in terms of innovation, that led us through the rest of the 20th century. The Depression was an interlude, the Second World War was an interlude, but the path that they set in the 20s got us through the rest of the century.
Can I get in quickly a Forbes flat tax plug? You ran for president twice. Of course, I supported you both times.
That's why you're so bright.
Why? Well, between you and Laffer, I've learned something in the last 50 years.
No, we learned it from you, but anyway.
The thing is, we should be flattening the tax rates and we should be simplifying the tax code. And that includes, Steve, along the way, lower spending and fewer regulations. In other words, what the guys in the 20s did, Harding and Coolidge, for example, is they cut taxes and they cut spending. And what happened? The economy boomed, revenues boomed, and they reduced the debt. People want to reduce.
Right. And the nice thing about the flat tax is, go back 20 years. We spend $6 billion a year filling out tax forms. We spend $200 to $400 billion a year complying with this monstrosity, 10 million words plus, tax code and all the regulations with it. Go back 20 years. If we'd taken that literally trillions of dollars, all that brain power and time, and applied it to new products, new services, new medical devices, new cures for diseases, how much better off we'd be
today.
That's what
it is.
Instead of having all this effort on this corrupt code, would be
I just got off the phone with Art Laffer, okay? I said, give me your 20 seconds on the Laffer curve so that I can make, I think our goal is also to make sure that we bring everybody along with us as we all study this and look back at history, because we will only learn if we know our history. And he said this to say, and he, by the way, he said leave an empty seat for him.
We do have an empty seat. Where is that shit?
The lowest rate on the broadest base. He said, say that over and over again. You've got to stop people from sheltering income. That will have a huge effect. And going back to your point in your opening riff, raising taxes on the rich, looking back in history, almost always you will see the revenues from the rich go down. You lower the taxes on the uber wealthy in this country, and you will almost always see the revenues from the uber rich.
Yes.
And
producers are screaming at me. Oh, just one last thought. It's kind of a Sandra thought, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's Smith thought.
People want to reward success, not punish it.
Amen.
I really think that's a key point that has been missing, that idea, this redistributionism and beating up on wealthy or successful or quote-unquote rich people. It's as American as cherry pie. Yeah. Let's reward success and not
rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes, thank you.
And by removing those barriers, more people can reach success.
Yes,
that's the key.
That's it.
Everyone
That's called
moves
economic
up.
freedom. All right, terrific stuff. Steve Forbes and Sandra Smith, you're all great. By the way, you can catch Sandra on America Reports weekdays every day, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox News.